All right, here we go. Sunbelt Billy, baby, strikes again. Billy Napier and the Florida Gators fall to South Florida. Final score was 18-16 in what was really rather a shocking game between the two games. I'm Denmark. Graham Marsh is going to be here in a second, and you'll see his beautiful face as we have a lot to get to, Graham.
Or do we?
I don't know where to start.
Do we have a lot to get into, or do we? Do we need to get into it? Do we need to bother? Does it even matter anymore? Dylan, first of all, before we start, I wore appropriately. I wore my Walter Clayton Jr. basketball national championship T-shirt, and that's for two reasons. First, because this team was incredible. Secondly, because the University of Florida's basketball. It's not a football.
They are right now. They're definitely a basketball school. I mean,
what? Listen. We'll get into the whole game, okay? But let's just start with the end. That's the drive, offensively and defensively. That was some of the most pathetic, embarrassing football I have ever seen played at any level. At all. So you throw the ball twice to take no time off the clock, not make USF use their timeouts, nothing, okay? And then you have a nice punt. You get a penalty and give them a break. You finally get a nice negative play. Oh, you know what sounds fun? Spitting on a player.
Has anybody done that recently in the NFL?
What a great idea. I mean, that's Billy Napier's program to a T, isn't it? We've got to get a stop here. We've got to get them off the field. We cannot let them get in field goal range or we lose. Let's give them a free 15 yards because I feel like spitting on someone. Are you serious? Is that what the University of Florida has been reduced to as a football program? I mean, Dylan, this goes without saying. Billy Napier does not deserve to be the head football coach of this program, correct?
No, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He led a good team. Billy Napier, I like him. He's a great guy. I mean, the amount of times I heard that shit over the offseason, dude. I mean, yeah. I mean, how great is of a guy is he now when you lose a game and you check any message board right now and it's like fire. Great guy though. Great guy.
It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing at so many levels. Dylan, they're yet again not prepared. What did we hear? I want to go all the way back, okay, because I think we can both agree that his days are numbered here. I want to go all the way back when he got the job. What was something we constantly heard about this guy? We heard he is so organized, that his programs run like a damn machine. Okay, and they're efficient and they're neat and they get things done and things are clean. That is the last way I would describe a Billy Napier football game, especially something like I just watched. I mean, it was absolutely embarrassing and it was disgusting. I mean, how in the world is that what they come up with?
Well, here's the thing with me. The first half, I thought he called a decent game, but there was a drop touchdown by your tight end. You had two horrific penalties that should have been a touchdown, and they get called back on penalties. So you had two touchdowns. You had a drop pass, and then you had two touchdowns that were called back. So and you have three drives in the first half. They should have been all touchdown. They should have been all touchdown drives. That's not coaching. That's
1-6 at half.
Yes, should have been. But where Napier has lacked, and even going back to last year, even when things were going good in November and the second half of the season, dude, coming out of the second half and the third quarter offense is just bland. It's the same. There's no adjustments ever. I was looking at the from last year. He scored a touchdown against Kentucky in the third quarter last year. He only had one drive. The Ole Miss game had one field goal. The LSU game had one field goal on 2 or 3 drives. The other drives in the third quarter in those games were punts. and it doesn't surprise anybody, man. Like, does this loss, take away being a Gator, all that, does this loss surprise anybody?
No, no,
No, it doesn't.
at all. Like this isn't. It feels like it when you say it out loud. USF beats Florida in the swamp. But when you really evaluate both teams, when you look at what USF has been able to do and what they did last week and how sharp they've looked and how good Byron Brown looks, and then more importantly, you look at what Billy Napier has not been able to do in his entire tenure here. Like, to your point, Dylan, like, David didn't just beat Goliath.
No,
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
This
Like
isn't 15, 20 years ago.
a good group of five school beat a horrifically undercoached Power 4 school. That's what just happened.
Yeah, and USF might go on. They play Miami next week. They might hang with Miami, and then
Dylan,
make the playoff. But still, that doesn't excuse that why you should lose this game at home.
I don't care if they make the playoff. This is embarrassing.
No, it is 100%.
And Billy Napier doesn't deserve to be the head coach of the University of Florida. Though we fired him on the show last year.
Everybody did, man. We can't go down this route again of he's not the guy, this, that, because then, this fool wins somehow next week at LSU, and then you're like, oh, okay, he's back now.
Well, but it's just like we've talked about this before. Like, last year, we fired him on this show after the Texas A&M. We fired him twice. We fired him after the Miami and the Texas A&M game last year. And then, great, they picked it up and they started playing better and blah, 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 blah. But you agree with me here, and we have remained steadfast that if they were to have canned him at that point, it would not have been wrong to do.
No.
Just because they figured it out and started playing better football at the end of the year does not justify what he brought to this program before that. If he had been fired, mainly after the Texas A&M game last year, if he had been fired walking off the field and his credentials to get into the building were shut off, that would have been perfectly acceptable and justified. And
look, man, I thought before,
I'd have been wrong to do so.
I thought Florida was probably going to go 8-4 this year. Part of it is with the schedule they had. I thought they would lose 3 games and they would lose a game that they shouldn't. And part of that, some of that had to do a little bit with Lagway's injury. You would figure that Lagway is going to get hurt at some point. That was kind of my thinking. But it's just like, dude, think about the second half. If Vernell Brown doesn't have that punt return.
Yeah, I know.
You're shut out in the second half, dude.
Dylan, I would even say if Vernell Brown not only doesn't have the punt return, but if he doesn't have the punt return and then get shoved at the end of the play to get an extra 15 to make it a walk-in touchdown, Dylan, they would have kicked another field goal.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have gone in and scored a touchdown. I mean, you watched their offense all day. Did you legitimately believe if they had to go get 15 more yards, they would have done so?
No.
Of course they wouldn't have. And look, we got to talk about DJ Lagway.
That's the biggest concern with this team right now, man. He's not right.
Play well. He did not play well. He made poor decisions. He missed a lot of throws. And I understand the injuries. I get it. I totally understand. That's not an excuse to play as poorly as he did. And secondly, I mean, Dylan, he played the whole back half of the season last year and beat Ole Miss and LSU with one leg. But now he's not healthy enough to be USF. Give me a break. I'm not buying that stock. Is he not 100%? Sure, but he's still got to be better than this. And then secondly, this comes back to coaching. Okay, let's go back, Dylan, to the very first drive of the game. Jaden Ball is absolutely demolishing them every single play. Okay, he's getting like 10 yards a pop. He got 3 carries to start the game and went right up the field. And they had a screen to start the first drive. That actually worked pretty well, and they're moving the ball. They should be walking into the end zone. But now we got to get Tony Livingston involved. I mean, what are we doing? Just give the ball back to 13. If we just say, no, man, we're going straight ahead, we're just continuing to feed 13, they can't stop him. We go in and score, and it's 7-0. And probably the entire first half is probably different. What was the deal with Tony Livingston? What does Billy Napier think Tony Livingston is Kyle Pitts?
Dude, the amount of.
But why does he have so many design plays? I don't understand.
It's the double tight end sets, man. Like, the only thing we talked about this whole offseason was the amount of speed and the amount of receivers we have on this team.
And he's
it's like
lowest on the field.
We're like we're on two at a time now, man.
I mean, bro, you've got J. Michael Sturdivant, you've got Eugene Wilson, you've got Vernell Brown the third, and USF can't keep up with them. I mean, Eugene Wilson was making plays most of the game. Vernell Brown's making plays most of the game, and you're obviously running the ball well. Why do we need to keep getting Hayden Hanson and Tony Livingston involved? What is the point? What are we doing? I mean, come on, bro. What is this? We've talked about this before. We've talked about not only that Billy Napier is just generally not a good play caller, like I just generally don't like his game plan, but his lack of feel for the game in the moment is so eye-opening and so embarrassing. I mean, how are you an SEC coach and you're this woefully unaware of the situation? Dylan, why does he only want to call trick plays and wildcats and gimmicky plays when the drive is going well and normal stuff is working?
That was
He does it every time. And
I wrote that on my notes, man. Like the second drive, you're going direct snap to who was it, Jaden Ball?
it was
At
Eugene
one point.
first, and then they ran a normal.
Okay.
Like the next play, it was Jaden Ball.
Yeah, and then you give a reverse to Lagway, and then he runs out of bounds for a 1 yard loss. It's like why? Like we're getting like 7 yards a clip with this 13 guy in the backfield. Hey, let's switch it up. Like,
And then, but then listen. But then drives that are clunky where we can't do much, and running the ball, they're kind of getting stuffed, or they're struggling to loosen up the back end and get something in the middle of the field. Then he'll just keep running the same stuff, and he'll just beat his head against the same wall, and he won't try anything creative. That makes no sense to me. Why are we only trying creative gimmicky stuff when we don't need creative gimmicky stuff? You see what I'm saying? He only calls it when it's unnecessary. Because look, Dan Mullen needed to be fired when he was fired. I'm not saying we got to go get Dan Mulligan. That's not nobody. Please don't take what I'm saying as that. But he had such a good feel for when to call some type of trick play or when to throw a little wrinkle in there, because he did it right at the right moment. He would do it on a 3rd and 7 when it's been kind of a struggle drive and it's a little clunky and the defense knows what you're going to do, and he would throw something in to throw them off and be unpredictable. It wouldn't be after 3 straight carries where you're getting 8-9 yards a clip. I mean, if you keep getting, look, because again, this is USF, dude. Like, they're a good program, no disrespect, but it's not an LSU D line you're going up against, man. It's not a Georgia D line you're going up against. If you're getting 8-9 yards a clip on them, that's for a reason. It's because your dudes are bullying their dudes. Don't bail them out. Just keep doing it.
here's the difference between Napier calls plays and a lot of the main play callers. And this is any level of football. There are guys that call plays, and there are guys that call games.
Yeah.
The guys that call games, like you mentioned with Dan Mullen, they run plays and they set up the play for something else to do later in the game. That's never been the case with Billy Napier. And the number one thing with the takeaway from this game, dude, whatever it is, I think it's from lack of practice. Lagway doesn't look right. Lagway does not see with any of his receivers. And the biggest thing, number one, for me, he's not confident. He's not confident that he's doing right now. And if his confidence is shot, this offense won't do anything, man.
You could see every single time that they did any type of close-up on him the whole second half, his, like, the dejection in his face, man. All you saw that entire second half was just frustration, annoyance. Like, you could just tell that it was just off. And God, man, I mean, there's nothing to be positive about. There's nothing to be excited. Like
I will say this though, the first half. Okay, going back from last week, long gone. They gave up 10 tackles for loss. Offense was sloppy. Ball only had one run that went for negative yards. It was like -1 yards. Dude, the first half was good. The script was good. You called plays that scored touchdowns. They just weren't executed because of a drop pass or a penalty, which most of us agree were garbage penalties by the referees. And it's not to say this is a referee thing, but like the coach called touchdowns. That's a positive. But I mean, we're all going to look at the second half, and the second half was garbage. I agree with you there. But the first half was good. Like the script that you had, like, okay, this is what USF wants to run. We're going to run these plays. This is going to be good. They did that, except they just didn't execute it all the way. But you just, the thing about this game, and this goes for any game, whenever you can't score, all you need is a touchdown, and you build momentum, and then it's just you get the train rolling. But when you can, then you settle for the field goal, and then you drive down the field again, and then you settle for the field goal. It takes the energy out of the game, and you give the other team a possibility. You're like, hey, we're still in this game, man. Like you're giving them a chance, and they stay the course. Defense has one bad play. They're not looking. The tempo is killing Florida. A couple offsides. There was a 12-man on the field. They had the one big play, and then boom, USF has all the momentum.
You know what I keep falling on, Dylan? We just got a comment about it from our guy Vane. Dude, it's year 4, bro.
Yeah.
It's year 4, man. Dylan, you and I went to his first game. That was Anthony Richardson against Utah when Anthony Richardson went crazy. Dude, that was 4 years ago. I mean, what's the definition of insanity?
Do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Let's say we keep him to year 6.
Dude, he will never win at a high level, man.
I know he's not, but I'm saying, I'm bringing this up to put it in perspective of now. If he was here in year 6, do you believe we wouldn't still be having the same conversations?
No.
Of course we would. Of course we would be. Because he is who he is. He has shown us that. And look, you know what I'm not going to have any patience for at all? I cannot wait. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So just remember me warning you of this. Everybody out there that's watching right now, remember me warning you of this moment right here. You are going to hear people say in the media this week, especially former coaches that always have every excuse in the book when it's time to fire a coach, and they always think that every coach needs the longest leash in the world. They're going to bring up how Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois last year. I promise you, Dylan. Everyone that's watching, don't fall for it. You know why? Because that was a freak game, whatever, but everyone agrees Marcus Freeman's a great coach. No one thinks Billy Napier's a great coach. He might have a good roster that could win some games in spite of him being a horrendous football coach. No, Billy Napier doesn't think Billy Napier's a good football coach. Just don't let that distract you from the fact that this dude has just done things. Forget about just tonight. This dude has done things over and over and over and over again that are simply inexcusable if you want to be the head coach at the University of Florida.
You know what the most inexcusable
championships, Dylan? This is where Steve Spurrier won a Heisman Trophy for the first time and won a national championship. This is where Denny Warfel played and Tim Tebow. You don't lose to USF at home. I don't care. Byron Brown's great. That's fine. I don't care if Tom Brady's the quarterback. You don't lose to USF at home. You don't. If you do, you lose your job. I'm sorry. It needs to be that simple. I'm sorry.
You know the most inexcusable thing to me, and nobody's going to probably care about this. I care about this more for whatever reason. Dude, the special teams. On punt. No, and I'm gonna go through the whole thing. I'm not gonna go through the bad snap. On punt, you have a delay of game. You can go after USF misses the field goal. You have to burn a timeout because your offense isn't ready to go for whatever reason. We're not getting a play, so you have to burn a timeout. That hurt them later in the game. That was why they had 2 timeouts, not 3. You have the bad snap that we all saw. Now they kind of recovered from it with Vernell Brown's crazy punt return. I'm just going to go back to last year, and I'm just using from the middle of last year to now. This is what they've done with special teams. Tell me if this is a well-run program. Okay, remember against Tennessee, 12 men on the field before the half. Had the field goal. Nope, penalty, 12 men. Forget about it. Didn't happen. Remember the bad snap of the field goal against Georgia? The game was close. Ball goes 100 feet over the holder's head. Georgia gets momentum. They go on to win the game. Lagway won't play, and we all know that. They had delay of game against LSU and Tulane a year ago. Nobody remembers that because they won the game. And then tonight, it's like good programs don't have these little details mess up time and time and time again, man. They don't have those issues, and Napier is so focused on the offense, and he needs to be a head coach, man, and just be the CEO because clearly he can't manage time and he has too many things going on, man. And it's things we've said 100 times, but
Well,
just to reiterate it.
I was gonna say you said the most important part just there at the end. That conversation was relevant in 2022 or 23. Dude, it's 2025. It's year 4, man. He's had his chance to hire an OC. He's had his chance to get more organized. He's had his chance to get more qualified people on staff to make sure this stuff doesn't happen. He's had his chance, man. He's had his chance, and it's over, and that's okay. You said it. Your words, Billy Napier's such a great guy. That's fine.
He's the greatest guy, actually.
That's fine. Go. I hope he has a great life, but his life cannot continue as the University of Florida's head coach. Just simply,
uh,
I mean, look, how? Because look, we need to go above. We need to go above Billy Napier at this point. We need to look Scott Strickland in the mirror. At what point Scott Strickland look in the mirror and say, what type of football program do I want to be? Not athletic program, because he'll bring up basketball and everybody else is doing great, and that's awesome. We're the everything school and we beat our chests, and I love it. But there's one sport that really truly matters, and everybody knows it. At some point, Scott Strickland has to look himself in the mirror and say, what type of football program do I want to be? Do I want to be a football program that's mentioned in the same breath as LSU and Alabama and Georgia and all of these top dog SEC programs year in, year out? Or am I okay? Am I content with being Missouri and being South Carolina?
The answer is yes.
And the answer is that he is. He has shown us since he has been the athletic director that he is content with that.
Dude, go back. I've said this multiple times. Go back to the last 10 years when the college football playoffs start with 4 teams. We've had Florida State make the playoff. We've had Florida State have an undefeated season, just got outside of it. Miami was 10-0, barely missed the playoff last year. Miami looks pretty good this year. Georgia's made it. LSU, Alabama, any team. Tennessee made the playoff last year. Any team that Florida considers a rival that they play regularly has been in the playoff, and not Florida. And that's not going to change this year. Think about that.
Yeah.
Sad. Also, another thing, we talk about inexcusable. I just looked at the box score just to add insult to injury. You know how many yards and penalties we had tonight?
Wasn't it like it was like 100 plus yards and penalties, wasn't it?
103. Terrible, man. Absolutely terrible.
CF SWAT says Lagway is horrible. Stop making excuses for him. What? Name one excuse we made for DJ Lagway tonight. We've said he wasn't good enough. We've said he looked terrible. We didn't make excuses at all for them. We're not making excuses for one. None of them deserve an excuse.
Yeah, he's smoking crack. I don't know what he's talking about.
I mean,
let's see. Yeah, I see your comments. Yeah, Napier sucks. We got Tennessee Vols fans in the chat. How we doing? We suck. Fire him. All the hype for nothing. That's why I don't believe in hype, man. I mean, I'm. Here's the thing that fans don't know. Like when you have to do a show, I do a radio show, produce one 3 times a day. You can't be negative Nancy and just talk about just the bad things if you're going to cover a team every day. You have to talk about, I'm not going to be pessimistic about a team. I thought this team would be good. This is the most loaded roster, LeGrand, like you said, in the last 10, 12 years. But now that, reality's here. And we don't get to see these guys in camp. We don't hear reports. All we hear is, when something goes bad, like Lagway's in a boot or Caleb Banks is in a boot or, something, we'll get a couple videos from Zach Goodall, of them a pat and go on air. We don't know what these teams are like until they're on the field on Saturday, just like everybody else.
Just like themselves, by the way.
Yeah. So,
because I guarantee you that locker room before they took the field today, they were beating their chest. Thought we're about to murder little old USF. Sucks to be them. And they came out there and punched you in the mouth and whooped your ass.
Oh man, well, we play LSU next week, and then we play Miami, and then we play Texas, and then we go on the road at Texas A&M, and then we play Georgia, and then a couple weeks after that we play Tennessee. Oh, and then if you forgot, Graham, I don't know if you've seen, we play Florida State on Thanksgiving weekend. They look pretty good right now. I mean, I feel like you could have copy and pasted every show that we've done a year ago to you could just copy it and paste it to right now. And this feels like exactly what we're doing, except South Florida is not the quality of a program that Miami and Texas A&M were a year ago. Yes or yes?
Yes. This is why I asked earlier in the show, what's the definition of insanity?
Jeez, man. I
mean, I'm out of answers. Not even answers. I'm out of even there's nothing else to say other than he has to go. His time is up.
Realistically, he goes 7-5. He ain't getting fired. Scott Strickland's not going to pull that trigger, dude. You, I, and every damn Gator fan knows he ain't pulling that damn trigger.
That's why I was saying, at some point, you got to go above Billy Napier and you got to look Scott Strickland in the face and say, what type of football program do you want to be? And you answered it, and it's right. He's okay with being Missouri and South Carolina and these second-tier, second-class citizen SEC teams. We are not in the same breath until we fire Billy Napier and go make a big boy hire. We are not in the same breath as LSU and Alabama and Georgia and those schools. We're not. Why should we be? Those schools made the playoffs. Those schools won national championships and since the college ball playoff even existed. We have not done that. And we don't have a coach who will ever do that. I mean, that's the main thing. No. Forget this game. Forget anything else. Okay. If every single thing went right for Billy Napier and every ball bounced away and every good player stayed healthy and even people they played against didn't stay healthy, and if he had every single stroke of luck possible for the next 5 years, would he win a national championship?
Hell no.
Correct.
He ain't going to make the playoff.
Correct. So what are we doing? So
Dude, think about this team right now. At the end of this year, Sapp is gone. He's by far your best D lineman. Caleb Banks is probably going to be gone.
Eugene Wilson's gone.
Eugene Wilson's gone. Austin Barber's gone. Slaughter's gone.
Damian George is gone.
And those guys I just named, not George. Those guys are going to be drafted probably in the first 3 rounds of the draft next year. More than likely. If not 4th, 5th, whatever. You're not more often than not, you're not going to replace a guy, at least on day one, with a guy that's going to have that kind of caliber, man. And if things don't work out the way they do, dude, Jaden Ball is probably going to hit the portal. All your talented guys will be like, dude, I bought in this program. I believed everything. I stuck around. I'm going to go somewhere where I can win a title. That's what Quinshon Judkins did at Ole Miss. He's like, Ole Miss is good. I like it here, but I want to win a national title at the end of the day.
All right, I'm glad somebody brought it up. It's time because you always have this guy. Jim says, who do you bring in to replace him? Literally anybody. Care. Like Jim, you go replace him. I don't care. Like you can't have him. You cannot. He can't lead the program anymore. You can't. But in all seriousness, again, this goes back to what I've said multiple times in this show. Scott Strickland has to look himself in the mirror and say, what type of football program do I want to be? Because that's where we're at. We are where, look, nobody's going to want to hear the truth. And I think because we just lost to USF, people are going to be more willing to hear this. Dylan, you know where we are?
Where?
Other than Jacksonville, Florida, we are where Tennessee was for all those years. Before they got Heupel, finally a competent coach, started playing well again, we are what Tennessee was under Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt and Derek Dooley and the last few years of Phil Fulmer when he was old and senile. That's where we are. The late 2010 range of Tennessee, when it was like, oh my God, what a dumpster fire of a program. What coach worth his salt would ever even touch that? Holy, what a disaster. That's where we are.
Yeah. I wonder,
agree or disagree? Am I being unreasonable when I say that?
they're not that bad, but they're not far off.
What do you mean they're not that bad? They just lost to USF at home.
They did, but they're not that bad, man. I think Tennessee, for a lot of those years, Tennessee wasn't. They were. I could be wrong. But for a lot of those years with Dooley and when they had Butch, they were never competing with good teams. At least you can say Napier has competed with good teams. I'm setting the bar low, man. I'm not trying to defend what you're saying, but the bar is low, dude.
Okay. Here, that's great. Besides that, when has he competed with good teams? He doesn't compete with good teams.
He beat Utah's first game. Let's see.
Back 4 years to bring up the other one.
I'm thinking. Okay, let me defend my point.
He doesn't beat good teams.
What did they do in 23? Okay, Anthony Richardson.
Oh, that was all they did. When Tennessee, Joe Milton, we were at the game. That was their biggest
win. That's right. See, that's another one. Point is, yeah,
he's been here 4 years, and we play in the SEC, so we play quality opponents every week, and we're able to win 4 games. That's what I'm saying. We don't beat quality opponents. Look, we got to go back to. Remember the Texas game last year?
Oh, jeez. I didn't even watch it. I forgot about it.
We all gave him a pass because Lagway got hurt and they ended up beating LSU and Ole Miss. Sure, that's fine. But, they got absolutely hosed. It wasn't even a game. Look. Okay, how about this? Billy Napier's Butch Jones.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Might be worse than Butch Jones.
Do you
I think they're about the same.
Do you want to be do you want to get a laugh at what Napier said at the post-game conference?
Please.
All right. This is from Scott Carter, coach of the Gators, FloridaGators.com. Let's see here. Quote, not good enough. It's my responsibility. We'll let them hang around. Napier, who adds, red zone issues cost the Gators tonight. Duh. Here's another tweet. We have to be much better. Yes. We can live with the technical things, the one that you keep that keeps you up at night, and player decision making. Napier on the penalties, lack of discipline. I'm sorry, you're talking about the player that spit on somebody. Hello, this is a challenge for every person in the organization, player, and staff. I love this guy. See, this is what good guys do. This is what guys guys that you like. This is what they say after a game. Last one I got here. We created it. We deserve it. The only thing you can do is get it fixed. Napier on noise from early last season, returning after second game. So there you go. Your head coach for the Florida Gators. Got to fix it. Just got to practice it, man. Ah, jeez, man. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing because of I don't know, man.
No, it's funny.
It's
Billy
it's funny, but it's not something to laugh at if that makes sense.
Billy Napier has made the Florida football program. We are a clown show. We are a comedy show. Dylan, you and I went to Shane Gillis. That was basically like watching the USF. They're pretty
Dude,
much.
remember last year Florida was a home underdog to UCF?
Yeah.
Now granted they beat the snot out of them, but
In year three. In year three.
in year 3, when UCF hadn't had a top 50 recruiting class in the previous 5 years and Florida been in the top 20 in every class but one. Like, oh my gosh, man. This is great. I
What would you do? You're Scott Strickland right now. What do you do?
Ride it out.
You
I mean,
would?
what are you're not gonna fire him right now.
Yeah, I would. Hell yeah, I would.
With what money?
I don't care. I'll call every booster that's ever donated to the University of Florida. I guarantee you,
The thing,
uh,
so
I'll get a spreadsheet of every Bull Gator, and if you don't think I can raise that money tonight, you're out of your mind. I promise you that would.
I heard Josh Pate say this. He was talking about the difference with NIL now. If there was no NIL, that this, last year, Napier would have been fired after the Texas A&M game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But now with NIL, you have to get with the booster club, and you have to allocate so much money to NIL to where you're not seeing as many coaches getting fired. No SEC coach got fired last year, and not every SEC coach was good.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. I feel like that's picking 1 year and calling it a trend. I mean, it that just means a lot of those coaches got longer leashes. But I mean, at this rate, I don't know if Napier's. I don't think Napier's going to be here next year at Florida. I don't know if Mark Stoops is going to be at Kentucky next year. I don't know if Sam Pittman's going to be at Arkansas. Like,
Sam Pittman won't, probably not.
but there's going to be multiple openings this year. Now,
No, yeah, 100%.
but I mean, it. But I just think when it gets this bad, and you have the alumni base that Florida does, I find it hard to believe that with, I'm sure how dissatisfied most of those people are, I find it hard to believe they can't raise that money.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this then? I would start making the calls to see if I can raise the money. How's that? I don't want him to be Dylan. I want him to be the coach tomorrow. I think he should be done. He should be done with his job. He should be relieved of his duties because he cannot do them. It's just that simple. It's that simple, man. Again, what type of football program do you want to be? If you're Alabama, okay, if the Kalen DeBoer thing keeps going downhill, I guarantee you NIL is not going to stop them from firing him.
No, that's not going to stop him. That's a fact.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So do you want to be mentioned in the same? And I understand Alabama's like the blue blood of the blue blood, but do you want to be in the same breath as them or the same breath as Missouri? I don't mean to keep taking shots at Missouri, but they lost today too, and you know what I'm saying.
They lost to Kansas.
I think so. But you get the point I'm trying to make. Right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like that level of program. So I just.
Yeah, and by the way, I do remember that they did make the calls, and they said they could have got whatever the hell the number was, and then he started winning games. I mean, dude, Scott Strickland, remember the statement he had after they lost to Georgia? It was like not even needed before they played Texas. It was like a PR move where Scott Strickland was like, yeah, he's going to be the guy. He's coming back next year. And it's like you don't make those kind of decisions until you see the whole picture. You see all 12 games.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything different this year. So on to LSU, man. On to LSU, and LSU looks really good. They went to Clemson last week, and but we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be smelling like bourbon. It's gonna be a 7:30 kick, and a place where Florida usually does not win at night, nor does really any team in Baton Rouge. So,
And LSU might be the best football team in the country this year.
yes.
They look really, really good. I think it's between LSU and Ohio State right now, the best teams in the country.
I don't disagree with you. So,
but then, I mean, Dylan, look. Okay, so they're going to go to LSU next week, and they're going to lose. They're going to get their ass beat. Okay? We know that. They're not going to do any better in Coral Gables the next week. They're not going to win in Miami. Miami just
no, probably not.
Better team. Carson Beck looks good.
Carson Beck looks confident, man. That game they had against Notre Dame, he looked confident. He looked like he was having fun, something that you never saw at Georgia.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of fun against Florida, too. I'll tell you that.
Dude, the DN for Miami, Bain Jr., bro, if he has the game he had against Notre Dame and he does that in a couple weeks against Florida, we in trouble. We in big trouble. He might be the best DN in college football.
But as long as Tony Livingston gets his touches.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so you're against tight ends getting the ball. I'm for tight ends, okay? I'm for going back, running, 12 personnel. So drop in the chat. Are you Team Graham or Team Dylan here? I want more tight end leaks.
Yeah.
I was gonna start the show off with that, because I know you were so fired up about it. How do we win the damn game? But we didn't win the damn game. So, we had to wait 40 minutes until we started talking about the tight ends. Jeez, man. This is, I don't know, man. Lagway's not confident. You can run the ball. The offensive line looked a lot better, but you have no pass game. I just go back to, he was in a boot to start camp, and he didn't play spring, and who knows how much practice he had in the offseason. Whatever the case is, dude, I don't care. He's not in sync with his receivers, and he's not confident. If we all said this team goes with Lagway, and Lagway's not going anywhere, so this team's not going anywhere. And it's that simple.
Can we talk about who is going to replace Billy Napier yet?
I mean, September 6th.
Yeah.
Already. I want Lane Kiffin 1, Lane Kiffin 2, Lane Kiffin 3.
I would agree with that. But Canes Forever has been in here. Don't love the name, but he actually did make a comment that I like, and I wanted to bring it up. He said we should take a look at the coach and just beat us, and I agree. I really, really like Alex Golesh as a head coach. Agree or disagree?
You said, sorry, say that name again?
Alex Golesh, USF's coach that just beat us.
Yeah, he's good. I wouldn't be against that.
I just want Dylan. What I like about him, and it's something that Billy Napier doesn't have, and it's his biggest issue as a coach. And Billy Napier does not have a killer instinct in a sense for when to step on throws. He does not have it. If he did, then Florida would have won today. Golesh, when they have a big play, when they have a big explosive play, if they get down the field 25, 30 yards, whatever, dude, they are lined up and snapping the ball again in like 8 seconds. It is unbelievable. And I know they run tempo, and I get that's the whole point, but, like, they don't let up. They don't stop. And if it's 4th and 1, they go and they don't hesitate. It's kind of like the Lions in the NFL. Like, they just go and don't hesitate, and everyone's on the same team. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I would like him as a coach. I do agree with you that number 1 on the list needs to be Lane Kiffin. But they need to go out and hire somebody with a spine, man, because this guy is just not it. It's over. It's over.
Well, there's always next week, Graham. And I don't have any more words. I've ran out of words that I wrote on my notepad today. And I'm gonna go watch Jeff Prosser and Dan Hickens scream at each other for about 30 minutes on your former employer, the 1010XL Gators program. And I'm gonna just watch this Michigan-Oklahoma game. I'm gonna watch John Mateer do what DJ Lagway should be doing. And I don't know. I'll probably drink a beer before I go to bed tonight.
Yep.
So, all right, Graham, good talk.
All right, man.